Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. I'm going to do a detailed review on this Mr. Coffee single serve K-Cup coffee maker. It's model number BVMC-SC500. So this came out a while ago, but it's Mr. Coffee's attempt to, you're able to do K-Cups. And it also comes with a reusable filter that you can put your own coffee grounds in. Now the one that come with it was black. I had to get a new one, so this is what the new one looks like. But overall, this thing looks really nice. It's got kind of a nice look to it. You add the water back here. It's got this nice cover, and it's got kind of a nice handle. You can carry this over to the sink and fill it up, and it fits really nice in here. It's got a plunger so it won't leak out when you lift it up. And overall, it looks really nice. It's even got the Keurig symbol on it. And it's really simple to operate. It's just got a brew button on, off, and you're going to select what size you want. It either does 10 ounce or 6 ounce. And it also has a strong brew selector. And we're going to check out all those settings and do some temperature checks and some times. So the cord around the back, no cord storage, and the cord's not super long. So again, you're going to add your water back here. This is where the K-Cups go. This is designed to just pull out. It's got a little lever you push down here. So push that lever down, and this whole assembly comes out. And this is where your K-Cups are going to go. This is your standard K-Cup. So there's a needle at the top that's going to poke the top. There's a needle at the bottom that's going to poke the bottom of the K-Cup. So you'll put your K-Cup in, and then you'll slide it in until it clicks. Yeah, make sure you hear that click. It says it takes all standard K-Cups. So they can be generic, or they can be the ones from Keurig themselves. So it takes all K-Cups. And like I said, we're going to try our own coffee grounds. This is a reusable filter. We're going to put some coffee grounds in there and try that out. So I've got our water in there. You know, I recommend using so when you fill it up at the sink, the max line is a little different. So I thought I had it full, but it kind of tilts down a little bit. So you can actually add more water when you're over at the sink, when you're holding it level. So the best way to add water to this reservoir is probably with a cup or something. It doesn't hold a lot of water, but if you do fill it to the max line, see how this is kind of angled? So it gets really full over here at this end. So it's probably just as easier just to fill it up with a large cup or something, because it doesn't hold much water. So let's just start off with a standard K-Cup. These Great Value Donut Shop ground coffee, these get really good reviews, and it does taste like pretty good coffee. So sometimes K-Cups, this one doesn't say what size to brew it at, and sometimes it'll say brew it at the 8-ounce setting or whatever. But so with this, we only got 10 ounce and 6 ounce. So you're going to have to experiment with this and see what you like the flavor. You know, the 10 ounce is going to be quite a bit more liquid, and that shows it maybe like for a latte or something, and a 6 ounce is mainly for a coffee. So we'll try both and see how it tastes. Okay, so I've got the basket out. We're going to lift it up. It's not held, it doesn't clip in place or nothing. This clip is only for when you slide it in. So you're just simply going to lift it up. Be careful of this needle. You're going to place the K-Cup in there. Now, I let the mechanism do all the work. So I just leave it there. I don't press it down or anything. But what's going to happen is there's a needle at the bottom of there. And it's going to poke a hole in the bottom of this. And then when you close the lid, this is going to poke a hole in the top. So we're just going to... that didn't take much effort. You're just going to close it. And what that did is that pierced both ends. And then we're just going to slide it in. So now I've got the K-Cup in there. And it's got a really nice track for it to slide in, because it's got an end. That's where it's going to shoot the hot water through to get to the K-Cup. And then it's going to come out the bottom of this device. So we're just going to slide it in. Make sure we hear that snap. Then we're going to turn it on. And then we're going to select serving size. we want to select serving size before we hit the brew button. So hit the serving size first. Then this is the brew button. So it's got an orange light that's kind of glowing. It's got to heat up. This thing's relatively fast, but it does have to heat up the water in a reservoir in the back there. So what you're going to hear is like a pump come on, and you're going to hear it heat up that water first. Once it gets the water up to temperature, then it's going to shoot it out through the K-Cup and give you your drink. So you can see it sucked down some of the water in the back, and it filled up that reservoir, and it's heating it up right now. It's been about 2 minutes. And you can tell something's about ready to start happening. Okay, so like I said, it's been about 2 minutes, and now it's doing the brew process. You can hear like a pump kick on. And you can see towards the end of the brew process, the water is kind of clear. So they do recommend kind of stirring this up because it's really strong at first. So you can see in under 3 minutes, so about 2.5 minutes, you've got a cup of coffee. And there, it's done. And the machine automatically shuts itself off. So if you ever want to brew again, you'd have to hit that button again. So let's look at the coffee. Like I said, you may want to stir this up a little bit, but we're going to do a temperature check. That's about right on. 156, 158. You know, normal coffee makers are about 165. And I've tasted this coffee. It tastes pretty good. That's a nice cup of coffee. Now, so this was 6 ounce. You can see that's pretty much, that's kind of a normal coffee cup. I mean, I might fill mine up to here. But if you did the 10 ounce, it would be way too much for a normal coffee cup. So now we can take the K-Cup out. We're just going to push down this lever. We can pull this out. And you can take this over to the trash can because you're going to lift this lever. And there's your K-Cup. You're just going to pull it out. Now be careful. It is going to be just a little bit hot. And there you have it. Okay, so here you have the K-Cup that we just brewed a cup of coffee with. I like to show people what's going on inside these. So it poked a hole in the bottom and it poked a hole in the top. I'm going to cut it open. So you can see I cut the bottom off. That's where the hole got poked. There's a nice coffee filter. And there's a bunch of coffee inside that. And now I'm going to cut the top open. Okay, so I cut the top off and I pushed the filter out from the bottom. This is all the coffee grounds you get in there. They look really nice. It smells really good. Now this is supposed to be the way you're supposed to recycle it. So you're supposed to tear the top off, and then that way you can dump away this, you can recycle this plastic. You don't have to cut the bottom off. But to recycle it, they do want you to tear the top off, dump the coffee grounds out. You know, some people put them in their garden or outside. So there is a way to recycle these. It is a little more complicated with the K-Cup. Okay, so we're going to brew another one. We're going to do a 6 ounce again, and we're going to do the strong brew. And I'm going to show you, it just takes a little bit longer. Now, like I said, I filled the reservoir up to max. This is how much it's used. That should be enough. But this thing does not have a low water light. Like most Keurigs have a low water light and it won't let you brew. So unfortunately this one will let you brew if your water gets too low. So again, I've got this container out. I'm going to put the K-Cup in here. It doesn't matter how you put it in, as long as the foil is on top. Then you're going to press it down. And then we're going to slide it into the track. And make sure it snaps. Okay. Now we're going to make sure we select our size. So like I said, the machine automatically turns itself off. The first thing you're going to do is select the size. We want 6 ounce. We're going to select strong brew this time. And then we're going to do that's the brew button. So again, it's going to warm up that water, and then it's probably going to take about 2 to 3 minutes to brew this cup of coffee. Okay, so it's been about 2 minutes and it's starting the brew process. Now it kind of pulses. When you've got this strong brew selected, it doesn't pour the water all out at once. It brews a little bit, then stops. Brews a little bit, then stops. Okay, so I was able to get 2 6-ounce coffees by filling this up to the max. That's the most I can get. So now I've got to add water to this if I want to do any more. So again, we may want to stir it. You know, it looks like a really nice cup of coffee. I'm not sure it's going to be that much stronger, because, you know, a Keurig can, these machines can only do so much, but they do try. And let's check the temperature. It's about the same. So it's going to come out the same temperature. And again, this tastes like a really nice cup of coffee. And it's pretty darn hot. Okay, so now we're going to do the reusable filter. We're going to put our own coffee grounds in here. Now, I bought this device. You can get it off of Amazon, but I bought it at Walmart. It's pretty cheap. Comes with the reusable filter. It also comes with this handle. So you scoop out the coffee grounds, put that over, and then that way you can dump them into the K-Cup. Because it can be kind of tricky putting them in this K-Cup. This reusable K-Cup. So this scoop says it's 2 tablespoons. That's what we're going to use for this reusable filter. Okay, I've got the coffee grounds. I'm going to put the lid on. And I'm going to kind of hold it, you know. Then I'm going to come over here. So yeah, that was pretty simple. And it got all the coffee. Well, no, it didn't. Got some in. But, you know, you get the point. This does help a little bit, but you do end up making a mess. You can use a tablespoon and put it in there. And you're going to close the lid, okay? And now we're going to put it in this thing. So I want to show you, this leaves room, so the needle's not going to poke into the bottom of this. So your needle's just going to be right here, but it's going to run the hot water through. Your needle is going to go right here, but it doesn't poke a hole because the hole is deep enough for it. So we're going to put it in. Again, it doesn't matter. And then we're going to just close the lid. Now it does kind of stick up a little bit. You just got to kind of hold it as you push it in there. So again, we're just going to push it in until it snaps. I did fill the reservoir with water. Okay, so now we're going to select our size. We're going to do a 6 ounce. We'll do a normal brew, and we're just going to hit the button. Okay, so it's been about 2 minutes, and now it's brewing the coffee that we put inside that reusable K-Cup. And you can put whatever coffee grounds you want in there, whatever's your best tasting coffee grounds. You can save a lot of money this way, and it is a little more environmentally friendly to use that reusable K-Cup. It's just a little bit more work. Okay, so I don't see any coffee grounds in there. And again, that's a pretty good tasting cup of coffee with your own coffee grounds that you like. And you can save a lot of money by reusing this. By reusing that reusable pod. So we're just going to take the pod out. Again, this does kind of leak. See, and it doesn't really sit down, but so there's the pod. And then we just got to clean this out. So you're going to have to dump those coffee grounds out. Again, you can put them in a bowl and put them outside. Some people do. But there's how it looks. It did a really good job. So be careful. This is kind of hot. But let's open it up and see how it did. Okay. Yeah, it did really good. It's just, this is a little more work. You got to kind of rinse this out. So you'll have to dump those out. But you are going to get a few coffee grounds in your sink a little bit when you go to rinse this out. Okay, so we've brewed 3 K-Cups through here. You can see this machine stays relatively clean. I'm not seeing any coffee grounds or anything. Now, just be careful with this needle. Even with me doing this video, I've kind of poked myself, and it is really, really sharp. But if we had to take this out, you can just pinch these sides right here, and it comes out. If you had to unclog your needle, you would just stick a paper clip down through that hole, and that would unclog that needle. It's pretty simple. Now, I would not do any more than 6 ounces through this reusable K-Cup. If any more water than that, it just starts really, if you did a 10 ounce, it's just going to be too watered down, I think. So we're going to, those 10 ounces are for different kinds of K-Cups, kind of latte K-Cups we're going to go over now. So I would only do 6 ounces for my coffees. Even though you're not going to get a bunch of coffee, you know, it is a really good cup of coffee. Okay, so now we've done coffee. This 10 ounce setting is mainly for like these mocha lattes or hot chocolate. You may get a hot chocolate K-Cup or these tea K-Cups. So if you look on the box, sometimes it does tell you what to put it on. So this one says brew at the 10 ounce setting. So we do have a 10 ounce setting here. Now these are kind of all in one. So it's a mocha latte. It says it has the coffee, sweetener, real milk in the K-Cup. So I've opened these up. There's just like a powder in there. So it's going to shoot the hot water in there and shoot it out. We're gonna brew one right now. And we're going to use the 10 ounce setting. Okay, so you put it in there just like any other K-Cup. And then we're going to close it. And we're going to slide it in. Then we're going to select the 10 ounce and the brew now. Make sure you got yourself a bigger cup because 10 ounces is usually bigger than a normal coffee cup. So I forgot to mention, so like we just brewed a coffee through here. They do recommend that, so we're going to change flavors. We're going to go to a mocha. Now mochas do have kind of coffee in them. But when I do a tea, these teas can be really strong. They do recommend just running clean water through here one time to kind of clean it out before you do your next one. So after we do this tea, I'm going to do just a fresh water rinse through here. I'm not going to have a K-Cup in here or anything, and we're just going to do like a 6 ounce brew to run some fresh water through here to kind of clean everything out, because some of these things do have some pretty strong flavors that you will taste in your next cup if you brew it. So when you're doing the 10 ounce, if you had to put a larger container under here, you could. This drip tray is removable. Okay, so it's been about 2 minutes. It's kicked on the pump and it's starting to brew. Now it's really strong at first, and then that water will start to get clear. So we really want to stir these 10 ounce drinks pretty good. Okay, it's done. Now, these don't have quite the coffee kick that I like. They taste really good. They're kind of sweet. What you can do is take a coffee K-Cup and do a 6 ounce brew into this. Now, it's a little more coffee than an espresso shot, but it does kind of add some coffee flavor to this. But we're going to get it out. Now, keep in mind, these are hot. I don't have double insulated mugs. That's kind of hot right there. So we're going to check a temperature. Yeah, about the same. Yep, 152, 153. That's pretty good. And these taste really good. And like I said, you'd want to stir them up first. And just keep in mind, when you take these out, these do make kind of a mess. So there's nothing to prevent that from not dripping. So just be real careful. You could stain your carpet or something. Okay, so I want to show you, see how much of that mocha is left in there. So I took the K-Cup out. And this is why you may want to run just a fresh water rinse through here. So I would just put the lid down, put this in and do a 6 ounce into a cup and then throw the water away. You know, I did take this over to the sink and just rinse it out too. So that just taking it to the sink and rinsing it out might be enough too. But for these teas, you really might want to run some hot water through. So let's do a tea. These are really good teas. We're going to put it in. And we're going to close it. We're going to install it. And then I like to do my teas on the 10 ounce. So we're going to select 10 ounce and brew now. Okay, so it's been about 2 minutes and it's brewing a tea. Okay, so we just brewed a tea. The possibilities are endless with these K-Cups. You can do hot chocolate. I'm not sure all the K-Cups that are out there, but this will take all the standard K-Cups. Okay, so let's go over cleanup real quick. So this is all dishwasher safe. You know, this might be a little tricky. It might get lost, but you can put this is plastic. You can put this in the top shelf of the dishwasher. This is dishwasher safe too. I'm not sure I would put it in there because it's got that little O-ring. So I might just wash this out by hand every once in a while. But this is dishwasher safe, but it doesn't come apart. So it's unfortunate that it has to stay together. And there's really no good way. So I might just wash this out in the sink a bunch. So the only thing I might wash in the dishwasher is this thing you can take out. But other than that, I'd probably just hand wash this every once in a while. Okay, so one last thing. I'd like to go over dimensions. So the front of it's about 8 inches wide. Oh, you know, it's about 14 inches, 14.5 inches tall. Front to back, you need about 11 inches. And okay, cups, yeah. So you want to see, so with that tray installed, that tray is really nice, you can see. You can put about, maybe about 6 inches before you hit the bottom. And then we'll take this out. And this is for like travel mugs. You can go up to maybe about 7.5, well, almost 8 inches. So I really like this coffee maker. This is Mr. Coffee's version of the K-Cup machine. It's simple. You got to keep adding water a bunch, so you know that's a little different. The tank's not very big, and it only does 6 and 10 ounces. But it's a really simple machine that just really works really well. So I really recommend this machine, and if you could, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching my video.